Ever think about, like, how one person just not existing could completely rewrite a story? I mean, like a story you think you know inside and out.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I think about that kind of stuff. It's fascinating.
Like just one little change, one tiny shift in the timeline, and boom, everything's different.
Exactly. It's like a domino effect, right? One domino falls and then
The whole thing unravels.
you got it.
So today we are taking that idea and running with it. We're diving deep into the world of Harry Potter.
Love it. Always up for a good Harry Potter deep dive.
We've got this analysis called If Severus Snape Was Never Born.
Okay, so we're taking Snape completely out of the picture.
Gone. Poof.
Yes.
Never existed.
This is going to be good.
And we're going to explore what happens to the entire story. I mean, everything. What would have happened to Harry? Hogwarts? Voldemort? Could he have won? Would the whole wizarding world be completely different?
Big questions. Big implications. I'm excited to get into it.
Me too. It's crazy to think about how much one person, especially someone as complex as Snape, could impact an entire world.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Snape is such a pivotal character, even if he's not always the most likable one.
Right. He's got his good sides and his really not so good sides.
Yeah.
But he's definitely important. So let's jump into it. Where does this whole Snape never existed thing hit the timeline first?
Well, the analysis points to a really specific event. The prophecy about Harry and Voldemort.
Ah, the prophecy.
A one Snape overhears and tells Voldemort.
Right. Because he's in love with Lily and wants to protect her.
Yeah.
But his actions end up making the Potters Voldemort's main target.
Yeah, it's a classic case of good intentions gone wrong. Tragic, really. But if we take Snape out of that equation...
Voldemort never hears the prophecy.
Exactly. So what happens then? Who does Voldemort target? Does he even go after the Potters at all?
It makes you wonder if James and Lily would still be alive.
It's a huge what if. Because if they live, that means Harry grows up with his parents. No Dursleys.
Can you imagine Harry Potter raised by James and Lily? He would be a completely different person.
Right. No more cupboard under the stairs. No more Dudley tormenting him.
He might actually be a happy, well-adjusted kid for once.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Although it does make you wonder if he would be as prepared for the challenges that eventually come his way. I mean, the Dursleys were horrible, but that experience did give him a certain toughness.
Yeah, true. There's like that adversity shaped him. But then again, maybe all that trauma wasn't necessary. Maybe he could have been strong and brave without all the suffering.
It's a fascinating thought experiment, but the impact of Snape's absence goes way beyond Harry's childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Think about Dumbledore and the Order of the Phoenix.
Right. Snape was their inside man. He was feeding them information about Voldemort's plans.
Crucial information. Without Snape, Dumbledore is basically flying blind.
They would be constantly reacting to Voldemort instead of being one step ahead.
Exactly. The Order would be severely weakened, maybe even completely ineffective.
So many things could have gone wrong. I mean, missions could have failed. People could have died.
The entire war could have played out differently just because they didn't have that vital intelligence.
It's amazing to think about how one person could have that much influence on a war. But it's not just the war. What about Hogwarts? Snape was the potions master.
Ah, yes. Snape, the terror of the dungeons.
He was a brilliant potioner, no doubt about it. But his teaching methods, well, let's just say they were intense.
Intense is putting it mildly. I mean, the guy was a master of intimidation. You think back to poor Neville Longbottom.
Snick was brutal to him. And you have to wonder how much that impacted Neville's confidence. I mean, Neville was a talented wizard, but he was always so terrified of messing up in potions class.
It's heartbreaking to think about. Without Snape constantly breathing down his neck, Neville might have discovered his true potential much sooner.
Right, he might have blossomed. Who knows, maybe he could have even been the chosen one instead of Harry.
Uh-huh, maybe. But let's get back to Harry. Without Snape, their whole dynamic changes.
Yeah, their relationship was complicated.
To say the least, it was full of animosity, resentment.
And let's not forget those detentions.
Yeah.
Snape loved giving Harry detentions.
He did seem to have a particular fondness for punishing Harry. But, you know, there's also the flip side to consider. While Snape may have made Harry's life difficult, he also protected him in subtle ways.
True. He saved Harry from Quirrell in their first year. And who knows what other dangers he shielded Harry from behind the scenes.
Exactly. And of course, there's a big reveal at the end. Harry learns about Snape's true allegiance, his love for Lily, his sacrifice.
It's one of the most powerful moments in the entire series. Without Snape, Harry would never know any of that. He'd never understand the complexity of Snape's character.
It would be a huge loss, a missed opportunity for Harry to learn about forgiveness and the gray areas of morality.
It makes you think about all the lessons Harry learned from Snape, even if he didn't realize it at the time. But the impact of Snape's absence extends far beyond Harry's personal growth.
Oh, absolutely. We have to consider the broader conflict with Voldemort.
Right. Snape was playing a dangerous game. He was pretending to be loyal to Voldemort while secretly working against him.
He was a master manipulator, feeding Voldemort misinformation while protecting Harry and the Order.
He was a double agent walking a tightrope. Without him, Voldemort might have been unstoppable.
The analysis suggests that Voldemort could have returned to power much sooner and with much greater force. The Second Wizarding War could have been even more devastating.
And with Snape gone, Neville's potential becomes even more important.
Right. If Neville had developed his abilities sooner, maybe he could have stepped up and filled the void left by Snape.
Maybe he could have been the key to defeating Voldemort in a world without Snape. But eventually, everything leads to the Battle of Hogwarts.
A final showdown.
And in the actual story, Snape plays a crucial role. He protects the students, he gives Harry vital information about Voldemort's Horcruxes, and ultimately he sacrifices himself.
His actions are essential to Voldemort's defeat. But imagine that battle without Snape.
It would be a massacre. The students would be defenseless. Harry wouldn't know how to destroy the Horcruxes.
The Death Eaters could have easily won. Voldemort might have taken over the entire wizarding world.
And what would have happened then? The analysis paints a pretty grim picture.
Yeah. It's a dystopia. Muggleborns persecuted basic freedoms, gone fear and oppression everywhere.
It's terrifying to think about, but there's also another possibility.
Right. The war might not have ended quickly. It could have dragged on for years, a bloody stalemate with countless casualties.
A world scarred and broken by endless conflict. It really makes you think about the impact of one person's choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Even someone as flawed as Snape. His absence could have completely reshaped the Harry Potter universe.
It's incredible how one person can make such a difference. It makes you think about the hidden hinges in our own world.
Right. The people whose actions shape events in ways we might never fully understand.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I challenge everyone listening to think about the seemingly insignificant people in your own lives. The ones who might be playing a much bigger role than you realize. Maybe they're the Snape in your story.
Maybe they're the hidden heroes or the unsung villains. Either way, their choices, their actions are shaping the world around us in ways we might never fully comprehend.
And that's something worth pondering. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring the what-ifs and the ripple effects of the choices we make.
And remember, even the smallest actions can have the biggest consequences.